Welcome to Glenstal Abbey. There are two panels from the 19th century Russian festal icon which many struggle to identify, namely the panel of the Ascension and that of Pentecost. The Pentecost panel is at the base and centre of the festal icon, between the panels of the beheading of John the Baptist and the Assumption of Mary. The arrangement of the panels of the vertical axis is more significant. The centre panel on the top is a depiction of the Trinity, then the Last Supper, then the Resurrection, then the Crucifixion, and finally Pentecost. This vertical axis holds together the key feasts of the church year, and those most important in terms of salvation and redemption. The Pentecost panel has Mary, identified by the abbreviations as the Mother of God, at the centre. She is dressed in dark blue with a white veil, marked with 3 stars, symbolizing the 3 persons of the Trinity, namely Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Mary is surrounded by 2 winged figures in white, 2 angels, both inclined towards her. It appears that they are in discussion with Mary, whose hands are opened wide to them. Below and to the left is an old bearded figure, probably Peter, dressed in a green undergarment and mauve overgarment, holding a staff with both hands. This staff is T-shaped and is an early way of representing the cross of Christ's crucifixion. The shape is that of the Greek letter tau, and so this form of the cross became known as the Tau cross. It is closely associated with the first monks in Egypt and also among the early Irish Celtic monks, and some Tau crosses can still be found in western areas of Ireland, and especially the islands. There is a fine example on Tory Island off Donegal. There is a further significance to the T shape. The last letter of the Hebrew alphabet is Tav, also T, and it functions much like the last letter of the Greek alphabet, Omega. Christ identifies himself as the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end in Revelation. The Tav cross, therefore, points not only to Christ's crucifixion, but also to his eternal triumph. The figure on the right, probably Paul, is younger and dressed in a blue undergarment and red overgarment. He also holds a Tau-shaped staff in his right hand, while his left hand is extended in the same manner as that of Mary. Although Paul was not present at Pentecost, he is depicted here as being in full communion with Mary. There is a close association of Mary with the apostles and the gathered community of disciples in the Acts of the Apostles. When they had entered the city, they went to the room upstairs where they were staying. Peter and John, and James and Andrew, Philip and Thomas, Bartholomew and Matthew, James son of Alphaeus, and Simon the Zealot, and Judas son of James. All these were constantly devoting themselves to prayer, together with certain women, including Mary, the mother of Jesus, as well as his brothers. Acts chapter 1, verses 13 to 14. It is interesting to note that Mary is associated with the gathering of the community for prayer, and from this she is seen as symbolizing the gathering of the church in prayer. She is therefore understood to be present when a little later in the Acts of the Apostles, the disciples gathered together in prayer, and the Holy Spirit came upon them at Pentecost. Mary is therefore not only Mother of God, but also Mother of the Church, and model for its prayer.